Most people don't realize this, but their biggest enemy is not the world, it is their own emotions. One small insult can ruin their entire day. One ignored message can destroy their mood. One bad memory can bring back years of pain. You might look calm on the outside, but inside, your mind is a battlefield. Thoughts attack you, feelings overwhelm you, anger, sadness, jealousy, and fear keep pulling you in different directions. And the worst part, you don't even notice how much control they have over you. This is exactly why so many people feel weak, confused, and emotionally exhausted. They let every situation decide how they feel. If someone treats them badly, they feel worthless. If something goes wrong, they lose hope. If they are rejected, they break inside. Their emotions become their master, and they become the slave. But the Stoics, the ancient philosophers of strength and discipline, lived in a completely different way. They faced war, poverty, betrayal, illness, and even death, yet they stayed calm, focused, and powerful. Not because they had easy lives, but because they had strong minds. They understood something most people today forget. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Imagine a life where no one can easily upset you, where insults don't hurt you, where rejection doesn't destroy you, where problems don't make you panic. This is what it means to be emotionally untouchable. It does not mean you have no feelings. It means your feelings no longer control your decisions. You don't react blindly. You don't explode in anger. You don't fall apart when things go wrong. Instead, you stay calm. You think clearly. You move with purpose. And this kind of emotional control is not something you are born with. It is something you train. Just like a muscle, your mind becomes stronger the more you discipline it. In this video, you will learn 9 Stoic habits that will change the way you deal with life, people, and pain. These habits will help you stop overthinking, stop feeling weak, and stop giving your power away to others. If you are tired of being emotionally hurt, if you are tired of feeling controlled by your past, if you want to become mentally strong and unshakable, then this video is for you. Habit 1. Control what you can. Ignore what you can't. One of the biggest reasons people suffer emotionally is because they try to control things that are not in their control. You want people to respect you. You want them to understand you. You want them to treat you fairly. But the truth is, you cannot control other people. You cannot control what they think. You cannot control what they say. You cannot control how they behave. Yet most of our anger, sadness, and stress come from exactly this, expecting others to be different. The Stoics taught something very powerful. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your thoughts are in your control. Your actions are in your control. Your reactions are in your control. But everything else is not. When someone insults you, you have 2 choices. Let their words control your emotions, or decide that their opinion has no power over you. Emotionally weak people choose the first. Emotionally strong people choose the second. Imagine someone calls you useless. If you believe them, you feel pain. If you reject their opinion, you feel nothing. The situation is the same, only your response changes. When you stop trying to control what you cannot, you gain peace. You stop feeling angry at people for being who they are. You stop feeling hurt by things you never controlled in the first place. Instead of wasting energy on others, you focus on yourself. You work on your discipline. You work on your goals. You work on your character. And slowly, something amazing happens. Nothing outside of you has the power to disturb you. That is the first step to becoming emotionally untouchable. To hear is habit to explained in a deep, powerful way. Habit to pause before you react. Most emotional damage happens in one small moment. The moment you react without thinking. Someone says something rude. Someone ignores you. Someone disrespects you. Your emotions rise instantly. Anger, hurt, ego, and before you know it, you reply. Habit to pause before you react. One of the most important skills you can develop in life is the ability to pause before you react. Most people don't realize this, but their emotions are often not caused by what happens. They are caused by how fast they react to what happens. Someone says something rude to you. Someone ignores your message. Someone disrespects you in front of others. In that moment, your ego feels attacked. Your heart beats faster. Your mind fills with angry thoughts. And without thinking, you reply. You argue. You defend yourself. You try to hurt them back. This is how emotions take control. Stoics believed that between every situation and every reaction, there is a small space, and in that space lies your power. When you learn to slow down, even for a few seconds, you stop being a slave to your emotions. When you pause, something important happens. You give your mind time to think instead of just feel. You begin to ask, is this really worth my energy? Is this person really worth my peace? Most people regret what they say, not what they don't say. A single emotional reaction can destroy relationships, careers, and reputations. But a calm response can protect all of them. Imagine someone tries to insult you. If you react with anger, they have succeeded. They wanted to control your mood, and they did. But if you stay calm, silent, and composed, their words lose power. You don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you hurt. This is what it means to be emotionally untouchable. Not that nothing hurts you, but that nothing controls you. Pausing before reacting also gives you dignity. You don't look desperate. You don't look weak. You look confident, stable, and strong. People respect those who don't lose control. At first, this habit is difficult. Your emotions will want to jump in, but every time you choose to pause instead of react, you strengthen your mind. It becomes easier. You become calmer. You become harder to disturb. Eventually, people will notice. They will realize they cannot provoke you easily. They cannot manipulate you with words. They cannot pull you into drama. And that is true power, when nothing outside of you has the ability to shake what is inside. Habit 3. Accept that life is hard. One of the biggest reasons people become emotionally weak is because they expect life to be easy. They believe that if they are kind, honest, and hardworking, everything should go smoothly. So when something goes wrong, they feel angry, confused, and hurt. But the Stoics understood something very important. Life has never been easy, and it never will be. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Relationships will end. Health will change. Loss will come. This is not bad luck. This is reality. When you accept this truth, your emotional strength grows. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You start saying, this is part of life. That one shift changes everything. Emotionally weak people are shocked by pain. Emotionally strong people are prepared for it. When you expect difficulties, they do not break you. Rejection hurts less. Criticism feels lighter. Failure doesn't destroy your confidence. You already knew life would challenge you. This habit also removes resentment. When you stop expecting the world to be fair, you stop feeling bitter when it is not. You stop blaming people for being human. You stop feeling like a victim. Instead of complaining, you adapt. Instead of crying, you grow. Instead of breaking, you become stronger. Stoics believed that obstacles are not enemies, they are training. Every problem is a lesson. Every struggle is making you more disciplined, more patient, and more powerful. When someone treats you badly, you no longer think, how could they do this to me? You think, this is how life tests me. This mindset keeps you calm. You no longer panic when things go wrong. You no longer feel overwhelmed by stress. You stay steady, even when everything around you is falling apart. Accepting that life is hard does not make you negative. It makes you realistic, and realism brings peace. You stop chasing a perfect life. You stop demanding perfect people. You stop hoping for zero problems. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You become emotionally free, because nothing can disappoint someone who already understands the truth about life. That is why Stoics remain calm while others fall apart. And that is how you become emotionally untouchable. Habit 4. Don't take anything personally. One of the biggest emotional traps in life is taking everything personally. When someone ignores you, criticizes you, or treats you badly, your mind immediately thinks, there must be something wrong with me. This belief creates pain, insecurity, and self-doubt. But the Stoics saw the world differently. They understood that people do not speak or act based on you. They speak and act based on their own mind, their own pain, and their own experiences. When someone is rude, it is not because you are worthless. When someone is cold, it is not because you are unlovable. When someone is angry, it is not because you deserve it. It is because they are carrying something inside them. Emotionally weak people absorb the emotions of others. If someone is negative, they feel negative. If someone is angry, they feel attacked. They allow other people's moods to control their own peace. Emotionally strong people do not do this. They understand that other people are fighting battles you cannot see. Their words are often a reflection of their stress, their fear, or their frustration, not a reflection of your value. Imagine a stranger insults you on the street. Would you take it seriously? Probably not. You would think, this person doesn't even know me. Yet when someone close to you says something hurtful, you believe it. The truth is, both come from the same place, their inner state. When you stop taking things personally, you become free. You no longer feel attacked by every comment. You no longer feel hurt by every opinion. You no longer feel small when someone disagrees with you. Instead, you stay calm, you stay grounded, you stay confident. This habit also protects your energy. You don't waste emotional power trying to please everyone. You don't beg for approval. You don't try to change yourself to make others happy. You become emotionally untouchable because you no longer allow other people's behavior to define how you feel about yourself. When someone disrespects you, you stay composed. When someone misunderstands you, you stay steady. When someone judges you, you stay strong, because you know who you are, and no one else gets to decide that. That is true emotional power. Habit 5. Practice emotional detachment. 1 of the main reasons people suffer is because they hold on too tightly to people, to memories, to expectations, and to outcomes. When something changes or goes away, they feel empty, broken, and lost. The Stoics believed in something very powerful. Everything in life is temporary. People come and go. Relationships change. Success fades. Even pain passes. But most people live as if things will last forever, and that is why they get emotionally destroyed when they don't. Emotional detachment does not mean you don't care. It means you don't depend on things for your peace. You can love deeply without becoming weak. You can enjoy someone's presence without fearing their absence. When you emotionally depend on someone, you give them power over your happiness. Their attention controls your mood. Their behavior decides your peace. Stoics never gave that power to anyone. They enjoyed what they had, but they were prepared to lose it. They loved, but they did not cling. They appreciated, but they did not beg. This mindset makes you incredibly strong. When someone leaves, you don't collapse. When something fails, you don't break. When plans change, you don't panic. You adjust. You move forward. You stay calm. Most people suffer not because they lose something, but because they never imagined losing it. Emotional detachment removes fear, and when fear disappears, emotional pain loses its grip. You no longer worry about being abandoned. You no longer chase validation. You no longer feel desperate to be loved. You become whole on your own. This is why emotionally detached people look confident, peaceful, and powerful. They don't need anyone to complete them. They choose people. They don't cling to them. When you practice emotional detachment, you gain freedom. You enjoy life fully, but you don't fear change. You love deeply, but you don't lose yourself. You experience joy, but you are not destroyed by loss. That is Stoic strength, to be connected, but never controlled. And that is how you become emotionally untouchable. Habit 6. Focus on self-improvement. One of the most powerful ways to become emotionally untouchable is to shift your focus inward. Most people spend their time worrying about what others think, what others do, and how others treat them. They constantly compare themselves, complain, or get distracted by drama, and in doing so, they give away their emotional power. The Stoics understood a simple truth. Your energy is limited. You cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. If you spend your energy improving yourself, other people's opinions, insults, and actions lose their power over you. Self-improvement can take many forms. It can be mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual. You read books, learn skills, develop discipline, take care of your health, or cultivate patience and resilience. Every hour you invest in yourself strengthens your mind and sharpens your character. Imagine two people reacting to criticism. One gets upset, stressed, and distracted. The other calmly takes it as feedback, learns what they can, and focuses on becoming better. The difference isn't luck or talent, it's where they focus their energy. When you focus on self-improvement, you stop needing external validation. You don't rely on compliments or approval because your growth is its own reward. People may insult you, doubt you, or betray you, but you are too busy improving yourself to be shaken by them. Self-improvement also builds confidence. When you know you are growing stronger, smarter, and better every day, other people's negativity no longer intimidates you. You become grounded in yourself. You become emotionally untouchable. The Stoics didn't waste time blaming the world. They invested in themselves, knowing that their personal development was the ultimate power. They trained their minds like warriors, exercised their bodies like athletes, and disciplined their emotions like masters. When you focus on growth, life becomes less about reacting to others and more about creating your own path. You stop being a victim of circumstances. You stop being controlled by your emotions. You take control of your own life. In short, self-improvement turns weakness into strength, distraction into purpose, and vulnerability into emotional armor. The more you grow, the smaller other people's opinions, actions, and words feel. And that is the true secret of emotional untouchability. When you become so focused on becoming the best version of yourself that nothing outside of you can disturb your peace. Habit 7. Use pain as training. One of the most powerful habits of the Stoics is their ability to turn suffering into strength. Most people run from pain. They avoid it, complain about it, and try to escape it. But the Stoics saw pain not as a curse, but as a teacher, a tool to train the mind and build resilience. Every insult, failure, rejection, or loss is an opportunity to grow. Every uncomfortable situation is like a workout for the mind. Just as muscles become stronger when they are challenged, your emotional strength grows when you face difficulties. Imagine being criticized at work or ignored by someone you care about. Most people react with anger or sadness, letting the situation control them. A Stoic, however, asks a simple question: what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This shift in perspective changes everything. Pain no longer breaks you, it trains you. Every challenge becomes a lesson in patience, discipline, and self-control. Every obstacle becomes a test of your inner power. Stoics also believed that suffering is temporary. Life is full of ups and downs, and no situation lasts forever. When you embrace this truth, pain loses its intensity. You understand that it is not permanent, and you can endure it without letting it destroy your peace. Using pain as training also helps you stay calm in the face of adversity. Instead of reacting with fear or anger, you observe, analyze, and respond wisely. You become less reactive and more strategic. Emotional storms pass over you without shaking you. Moreover, seeing pain as training builds confidence. You know that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. You can recover. You can adapt. You can grow. This mindset makes you mentally unshakable, because every struggle is not a setback, it is preparation for future challenges. Finally, this habit teaches gratitude for adversity. Strange as it sounds, difficulties become opportunities to strengthen your character. Life's hardships are no longer enemies, they are allies in building emotional power. When you adopt this Stoic habit, pain loses its ability to control you. Disappointments stop breaking you. Criticism stops hurting you. Failure stops defining you. Instead, every hardship becomes a stepping stone to becoming emotionally untouchable. In short, use every painful experience as training for your mind, and nothing in life will ever have the power to shake you. Habit 8. Speak less. Observe more. One of the most overlooked habits of emotionally strong people is their ability to listen, observe, and think before speaking. Most people talk too much. They react instantly, give their opinions, argue unnecessarily, or involve themselves in drama. And every word they speak gives away a piece of their emotional energy. The Stoics understood the power of silence. They knew that words are precious and energy is limited. By speaking less and observing more, they protected their peace and maintained control over their emotions. When you talk less, you reduce opportunities for conflict. You don't get pulled into arguments. You don't give others the satisfaction of seeing you react. Silence becomes a shield. People cannot provoke you if they don't know what you are thinking or feeling. Observing more also allows you to understand the world better. When you watch carefully, you notice people's intentions, patterns, and behaviors. You start seeing who is trustworthy, who is toxic, and who is worth your energy. This awareness prevents unnecessary emotional pain. Stoics practiced listening before responding. They let others speak, and only spoke when necessary, with wisdom and purpose. They didn't react to insults, gossip, or drama because they understood that reacting emotionally gives others control over you. Speaking less also gives you internal clarity. When you are silent, your mind has space to process your thoughts. You can evaluate situations calmly instead of reacting impulsively. This pause between observation and response makes your decisions wiser and your emotions more stable. Another powerful effect of speaking less is that it increases respect. People are drawn to calm, thoughtful individuals. They notice the composure, the self-control, and the confidence. When you are emotionally untouchable, people realize they cannot manipulate you with words or actions. Finally, this habit creates emotional independence. You are no longer dependent on others' approval, validation, or attention. You don't feel the need to justify yourself. You don't compete for attention. You simply live your life with calm authority, free from the drama that traps most people. In short, speaking less and observing more is not about being silent forever. It is about being strategic, disciplined, and emotionally untouchable. It protects your peace, strengthens your mind, and allows you to respond only when it truly matters. When you master this habit, you will notice a profound change. You feel calmer, you think clearer, you react less, and you'd become nearly impossible to disturb emotionally.
Habit 9. Remember, one day you will die. One of the most powerful Stoic habits is the awareness of life's impermanence. Most people spend their entire lives worrying about small problems, grudges, failures, or what others think of them. They act as if they have unlimited time, as if life will last forever. But the Stoics knew a simple truth: life is short, unpredictable, and temporary. When you truly internalize this, everything changes. Minor setbacks no longer feel overwhelming. Criticism no longer cuts deeply. Arguments, jealousy, and anger suddenly seem insignificant. Why waste your energy on what will not matter in the grand scheme of life? This habit is not meant to be depressing, it is liberating. The awareness that one day you will die frees you from fear, worry, and unnecessary emotional attachments. You stop sweating the small stuff. You stop holding grudges. You stop giving power to things or people that do not truly matter. Think about it. How many times have you been hurt by something that years later feels trivial or meaningless? Most of the stress we feel comes from focusing on temporary things as if they were permanent. Stoics remind us to step back and ask, will this matter in a year? Will it matter in my lifetime? When you adopt this mindset, you gain clarity. You prioritize what truly matters, your character, your growth, your relationships that are meaningful, and your inner peace. Everything else becomes noise. You no longer react impulsively or emotionally to things outside your control. This awareness also encourages courage. Life is short, and the Stoics believed in living fully and purposefully. You take risks, face challenges, and act with integrity because fear of criticism, failure, or loss no longer dominates your decisions. You understand that worrying about small problems is a waste of the limited time you have. Moreover, remembering your mortality teaches gratitude. Every day, every opportunity, and every person in your life becomes more precious. You learn to appreciate the present moment instead of being trapped in past regrets or future anxieties. In short, the thought of death is a tool for emotional freedom. It strips away the unnecessary weight of fear, anger, and insecurity. It trains you to focus on what truly matters and strengthens your ability to remain calm in the face of life's challenges. When you live with this perspective, you become emotionally untouchable. Nothing outside you can disturb your peace because you understand the impermanence of all things and the power of focusing only on what truly matters. Now that you've learned these 9 Stoic habits, it's time to understand what they truly mean for your life. Becoming emotionally untouchable isn't about shutting down your feelings or pretending nothing affects you. It's about gaining control over your mind so that your emotions no longer control you. When you practice these habits consistently, something incredible happens. You start to notice that insults, criticism, or failures no longer break you. You no longer react impulsively to people's words or actions. You no longer waste energy on things outside your control. Instead, you stay calm, steady, and grounded no matter what life throws at you. Stoicism teaches us that life will always have challenges, pain, and uncertainty, but your inner power, your ability to stay composed, disciplined, and focused can become unshakable. Each habit you practice strengthens your mind like a muscle, pausing before you react, accepting life's hardships, detaching from unnecessary attachments, focusing on self improvement, and remembering life's impermanence. All of these create a shield around your mind and heart. Emotionally untouchable people live differently. They are not ruled by fear, anger, jealousy, or grief. They are not controlled by the opinions or actions of others. They act with clarity, purpose, and confidence. They face challenges calmly, and they use pain as a tool to grow stronger rather than a reason to break. The power of these habits lies in consistency. None of this happens overnight. You must practice daily. Every time you pause, detach, reflect, or improve yourself, you are training your mind. Slowly but surely, you will notice that your peace of mind is no longer fragile. You will feel a calm confidence, a deep sense of inner strength, and an unshakable emotional balance. So take these Stoic habits seriously. Apply them to your life. Observe your thoughts, control your reactions, and focus on what truly matters. Life will continue to test you, but with these habits, you will remain unshaken. You will become emotionally untouchable. Remember, it's not about being cold or indifferent, it's about being strong, aware, and free. Your emotions are your own. Your peace is your own. No one can take it from you unless you give it away. Start today, practice these habits, build your emotional strength, and watch yourself transform into someone who is calm, confident, and unshakable no matter what the world throws at you.